Alrighty, let me hook up this shore power. Sorry, I'm moving around so much. Alright. Let's see, what am I doing here? So, I got the shore power hooked up. Comes straight out of my garage anyways. On the outside of the vehicle, comes through the wall here. I hooked up a little box. It's all plastic. And went ahead and put a strip here. This is all temporary for now. Run up to a strip right here. Have on, off, however I want to do it. And this is a hole. I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do here. And that's from the old system they used to have. I don't know, they had some HVAC stuff in this. I kind of buttoned up the ceiling a little bit, added some more screws and everything. But I put a new LED light in here. Just for a while I'm parked in my driveway. I'm still going with the solar and a marine deep cycle battery. Something I'll kind of build its own little case or something over here in the corner. But I need a light out here, and you know, that's pretty good. That does everything I need right there. That's LED light is exactly what the doctor ordered. And you know, if you get rid of all the other external light, I mean, close everything off, windows, I just kind of struggle with having lighting in here. And I do have a magnetic style light. You see right here, which I can remove. You still got to charge it up. And if I keep the shore power hooked up on the outside while the vehicle's sitting in the driveway, what I can do is I can have chargers charging whatever needs to be charged. I bought a couple of stoves recently. They're camper stoves, you know, the Coleman style, the green style. I'll see if I can tie it into this video. I bought one last year. It's a 2-burner. Maybe it's the beginning of this last, well, his probably, I don't know, before COVID hit here in 2020. And it's 2-burner and it works. Yeah, I bought it for like 15 bucks at the flea market. And then I come across a couple at a garage sale yesterday and bought a couple. Well, I wanted the 2-burner one because I had 3-burners pretty big. And they're the old Coleman style where you pump up it's got the little fuel bowl, the fuel tank that you put on the front of it. I'm just pointing my phone here. Let me turn around here in just a second. Yeah. So I bought a couple of these stoves, you know, for camping. And we've had pretty decent weather lately. I don't know how I'm going to set this phone up or it's not going to fall. Anyways, tell you what, I'll just come over here and sit down right here on the fender. So, you know, I tested them out while I was sitting out here in the Stepvan, and I was amazed at how much heat they put out. And of course, you know, anyone that camps or anything like that knows they put out the heat. Maybe I'll stay like that. And so I thought, well, you know, I'm going to keep. Probably I have 3 now, so 2 2-burners and 1 3-burner stove. I'm gonna go ahead and if I don't need one of them or whatever, get rid of it, sell it. I haven't decided what I'll do. I don't need it. I'm trying to get rid of stuff anyways, but what I will try to do is I'll keep one out here, use it for extra heat when I'm doing stuff here in the winter. I have my Mr. Buddy heater, as you can see over there. And it actually works pretty good. It's surprising how much moisture it puts in. And you know, the problem you have with a stove, especially if it's Coleman oil, is the carbon monoxide. And I don't really know how their oil is. I'm sure it's low emissions. You know, Coleman's been around for a long time. But I have a vent here, and I'm gonna have to hurry and do this voltage or my inverter, you know, to go on ahead and that one up there. So I have ventilation here, and fix this phone. Sorry, I keep moving around. I need to get my cargo van cleaned out and get everything, all my equipment set up so it's portable. I can put in here. I have an inverter to my cargo van. I'm going on my pickup truck. So when I roll the locksmith and stuff around, I'll be able to do that. You know, move stuff from between vehicles. I love Stepvan. I'm going to do a vehicle on, you know, the however many number of reasons, you know, to buy a Stepvan or just to have one. You know, they take up a lot of space in the driveway. There's a lot of cons to them, but you know, if you have a business or if you want, you know, the opportunity to go run around a camp, whatever, man, they're great vehicles. They're just not very widely pushed. You know, Paul Barger, Brett Trucker, Seven Wanderers, Gina Payne. There's several that live in Stepvans. You know, they don't really. I know Paul Barger's always pushing Stepvans. You know, they're awesome vehicles, and I bought this. This is old. This is 1974. It's vintage. You know, as they say. I've had to do a lot of work to it, as you've seen if you go back to my videos. I haven't recorded all the repairs actually being done, but I've done a lot of updates. A lot of times I don't have a whole lot to update. I'm pretty busy, and you know, this is more right now. I use it for storage for a lot of stuff. I can drive around. I haven't driven around lately, you know, to do stuff. I swapped motors a while back. If you followed any of my videos, you'll see I swapped motors. I still, you know, I'm using my cargo van right now just because, you know, my power inverters that I need to run my key machines and any of my other hardware, I don't have that set up. And looking at batteries, man, those things are expensive, and I don't need to buy all that stuff right now, especially when I'm hooked up to shore power. I do need the opportunity to run a key machine off 120 volt, and I need my inverter. So I think one deep cycle marine battery will do the trick for what I'm doing. And I have a 3,000 watt inverter, and that's enough to push, you know, what I need. But I need a way to charge that up, and so I'll have a charger that'll run off 120 volt or a solar panel, you know, so it'll trickle charge, you know, and keep the battery maintained. I think I still have some stuff I need to do on the outside as far as cosmetic, but you know, the things with Stepvans, I mean, you can go all out and really build you a cool shack on wheels, and I know people that are doing them right now. I follow some of them on my YouTube channel, but it doesn't have to be that fancy. Same as the people that live in vans, they don't have to be that fancy. I mean, granted, I mean, I think, you know, the amount of time people spend and the amount of money they spend on some of that stuff, do they ever really get their full value out of it? I mean, some of that stuff's expensive. And I try to do local, you know, buy local, buy repurposable stuff, stuff like that. I found things at a bargain, and some things I've had to buy at retail price, but, you know, trying to get this thing going and running, I mean, I've done my best to do myself, and I've saved a lot of money. I'm a few $1,000s into it. I can guarantee you, probably, you know, I'm less than $5,000 into this Stepvan now. I bought for $1,500 extra for the, you know, new tires, which I've had issues with because they sat outside before I bought them for a long time before they got mounted on a wheel, so they're kind of weathering, crackling already. The issues I've had with the motor, had a wiped out cam, and it slowly deteriorated. Once you get through that hardened surface, you know, it wears really fast, and that's what happened with this. It was running, and then it just kept deteriorating worse and worse, and I kept thinking, well, I'll try this, try that, and I spent a lot of money. Of course, all the stuff I spent money on will go into the motor after it's rebuilt anyway, so it's stuff I would have bought if I rebuilt the motor anyways, you know, timing chain, all that stuff. Well, you know, all the little things I added to try to make it work, you know, with what it had, but I just never dug into the camshaft, and that's where my real problem lies. And so I'm going to do a soft rebuild, which is just what I need to do. If everything's in spec, I'm just going to swap out with stock stuff. I'm not going to go crazy doing weird things, because once you start, you know, going above stock, like boring at 30 over, you start getting into other things that need to be adjusted and looked at and thought about, you know, troubleshooting wise. A standard V8 motor, it's just stock rebuild. It's not complicated. But I like the straight 6 I have in there now. The gas mileage is probably equivalent to the V8. I don't need a lot of horsepower because I got a 4-speed transmission. I guess it's 3-speed with the granny low. I don't know how you say 4-speed. But anyways, it is a SM 465 transmission, and it probably gets really bad gas mileage at highway range, highway speeds, because it's real low geared. That you know, it's more for pulling and driving around city limits. And I don't have a whole lot of weight in it right now, and I don't plan on really loading it down. Some of those builds that you see, I can't stand sprinter builds. I mean, more power to those people that do that, but man, that's a lot of money to invest in those things. If I had to pack up now, if me and my wife decided we had to split now, like the house caught on fire and we had the bare necessities, I could fit it all in this van, and if we had to, you know, save money, we could stay in it. It wouldn't be no problem. You know, I have an igloo cooler, I could throw ice in it, winter foods. We don't normally eat a lot of stuff anyways. We don't cook much. If we cook something and stuff that lasts several days, like I'll barbecue chicken, which, you know, that's the thing, you know, you can barbecue anyways, you know, without the house. But, you know, there are a lot of reasons to have a Stepvan as a, you know, like a backup vehicle if you do business, whatever. I'm just saying this because there's people that have cargo vans or sprinters or ProMasters. I'm not saying that, you know, if you don't have, you know, a big vehicle with a lot of room, you know that you should go get a Stepvan. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, you know, if you feel like you need a bigger vehicle than what you have for the price, you know, there's no, I don't know what you really get more out of sprinters and ProMasters, other than, you know, if you get the latest and greatest stuff, you know, it's got air conditioning, all that stuff, rear controls for the air and heat and all that. Yeah, I mean, I can see all that, but you can get those in Stepvans too. You know, if you didn't want to spend a whole lot of money, you can find used Stepvans pretty cheap, and they're still easy to work on. And if you get like the diesel motors, which I don't like diesel motors, but they're very reliable anyways. V8s, I mean, if you got like an LS or LT motor for a Chevy, I think those are supposed to be better than the old small block Chevys, Generation 1s, but you know, that's a whole another conversation you can go down the rabbit hole with. But for the most part, I mean, man, this vehicle is roomy. I got all kinds of room. I got a ton of room, you know, and it's a box, you know, on the inside. It's not complicated to, you know, cut things into this. If you want to do partitions, walls, I mean, there is a little curve, but really, if you got rid of this, I mean, it's not that curvy, you know. I mean, look at the corners, have their radius, but it's really, it's a cool vehicle. And so, and I've had this as more of a project, but I kind of got into looking at it as my business, side hustle, and I still want to be able to throw the kayaks in there, but really cool vehicles. Everywhere I go, it's like I notice Stepvans, and it's like, man, that's pretty cool, you know, to have those, you know, vehicles. And I just wonder, I know some of the smaller vehicles. I work at the Ford plant, so we got the biggest transits. You know, we built the transits where I work, and that's the department I work in as a pipe fitter. But those transits are huge, and they can be, the biggest one I have is almost the size of my Stepvan, and my Stepvan is not big. It's the 14-foot, you know, from the back, the seat to the walls. So, you know, that's 14 foot. And they have those in the transit size, but still, you're looking at, you know, there's a lot of interior stuff they put in. You're looking at a $40,000 to $80,000 vehicle, even with the transit. With the Stepvan, I mean, you can buy Stepvans pretty cheap and still have all that room, get decent gas mileage, and you can customize. You don't feel like you're tearing up something that's brand new. You know, they're just awesome vehicles. There's so many possibilities on the inside, as there are with ProMasters and Sprinters. But I tell you, it's just you know. Well, I'm at that age where I'm looking at, you know, the convenience of being able to throw everything in one vehicle and take off if we have to, you know, go camping, go driving the highways at a, you know, a slow pace, not speeding from here to there because I need to be there in 8 hours or 4 hours, 10 hours. This vehicle's a cruising, you know, head Route 66 and, you know, head west, you know, here on the right side of the road going west, and then coming back east to where I live, getting everything on the other side of the road. So this would be a cool vehicle. My wife's not so savvy about the, you know, trying to save money. She likes the hotels and then, you know, the continental breakfast, which is always so early in the morning that we, you know, it's a struggle to even get up and do that stuff. I don't mind just pulling up in a, you know, in a cool parking lot, you know, that's kind of quiet and, you know, not a whole lot of people around, and just spend the night there. It doesn't bother me one bit. Her, yeah, she likes her amenities. But anyways, that's I just thought I'd have a little talk. I hadn't been on the YouTube in a while. You know, I haven't posted anything. You know, I'm really talking about this stuff. It's just conversation. You know, a lot of stuff going on in the world, a lot of weird stuff. You know, my world never changes no matter what's going on because my demographics, you know, I don't really, there's not a whole lot I can do. I'm 50 years old. No matter what happens, whether I like it or not, I still go to work and I still do what I do, and nothing really affects me. Maybe emotionally I go up or down with stuff, but you know, at 50 years old, I can't worry about conspiracy stuff because it just doesn't really matter. You know, the next generations will have to do what they got to do based on the current stuff, you know. So it's like I do what I do and the world does what it does, and none of it really matters. You keep striving to make the right choices regardless of what goes on around you. And I think, you know, keep our moral compass, you know, about us in this country, you know, just try to do the next right thing, and you know, try not to, you know, try not to make this a negative world, you know, in my mind. And it's been hard, you know, over the last few decades. It's been hard to not get sucked into ideologies. I'm fiercely independent. You know, if people want me to side with something, they need to win my opinion. I don't just give it, and I don't. You know, I'm not loyal to anything other than, you know, what I believe is right and wrong. So and that's kind of where I stand on things. If I like someone and they betray my moral code, then I'll go the other direction. I have no problem doing that. So you know, it's just, and I'm not making any political statements because I don't think we ought to be political, you know, on these channels. I'm trying to. This is more of a, you know, a Stepvan channel. My hobbies, whatever. I'm not trying to sway anyone for or against anything because I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me what you believe in. I try to stay out of all that stuff, and if you know, I don't post a lot. Even on my Instagram page, I try to steer clear of anything that's one side or the other because I don't think it's very positive to create division. To me, that's, you know, that's something that our adversaries would like to see us do, is fight, and they like to post stuff that's divisive in nature. So I try to avoid that. Anyways, it's good to get back another video on YouTube. I appreciate you guys watching. I'll try to do a more thorough pros and cons on Stepvan stuff. There are some downsides to it. It's an albatross in our driveway for one. I mean, our neighbors, I'm sure, hate it. I don't drive it that much, but it's legal. It's street legal. I can drive it if I want, so they can't say nothing. My insurance is dirt cheap because it's an old vehicle. You know, if you get a newer one, your insurance is going to go up. It's going to go up. If I choose to insure this commercially, if I start doing business stuff in it, it will go up, but it won't be much. It'll be like $80 a month. I think 88 max is what I figured out. There are the ups and downsides to having big vehicles like this. You can always get like a Class C RV, you know, if you don't mind the looks, you know, and do your side hustle out of that, and still use it for travel and entertainment. But I just like the idea that you just don't know what goes on inside this. It's stealthy enough. It's anonymous. You know, I don't really care for the stealth, but it is just a plain Jane industrial looking vehicle from the outside. Anyways, I don't really have a lot to say. I just thought I'd post something because I haven't posted anything in a while. I got so many leaves to do. I don't know if you've seen my driveway and stuff. It's crazy. My yard is just full of leaves. My neighbors too included. Anyways, I gotta go get to work, start doing these leaves. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.